Fred J. Noonan was born on April 4th, 1893, in Cook County, Illinois, in the U.S. Little is known about his early life and upbringing, but he developed a passion for navigation and aviation from a young age. Noonan began his career in maritime navigation, working as a merchant seaman and honing his skills in celestial navigations. He gained extensive experience navigating ships across the oceans, mastering the art of determining position using the stars, sun, and other celestial bodies. In the 1920s, Noonan transitioned to aviation, drawn by the allure of new opportunities in the rapidly evolving field of air travel. He became a skilled navigator and pilot, obtaining his pilot's license and working for various airlines. Noonan's experience and expertise in celestial navigation made him highly sought after in the aviation industry. He served as a navigator for Pan American Airways, otherwise known as Pan Am, a pioneer airline that operated transoceanic flights where he navigated seaplanes across the Pacific Ocean. During his time at Pan Am, Noonan played a key role in developing and implementing long range navigation techniques for transoceanic flights. He helped establish air routes across Pacific and contributed to the expansion of commercial aviation and global travel. In 1937, Noonan was selected as the navigator for Amelia Earhart's historic attempt to circumnavigate the globe. His experience and skill in celestial navigation was essential for planning and executing the challenging transoceanic segments of the flight. Throughout his career, Noonan was known for his professionalism, precision, and dedication to safety. He earned the respect and admiration of his peers for his navigational expertise and his calm demeanor under pressure. Although Fred Noonan is perhaps best known for his fateful final flight with Amelia Earhart, his contributions to the advancement of navigation and aviation are significant and enduring. He remains a respected figure in the history of aviation, remembered for his pioneering spirit and his role in shaping the course of aerial navigation. Amelia Earhart was born on July 24th, 1897, in Atchison, Kansas, to Samuel Edwin Staten Earhart and Amelia Amy Otis Earhart. She was the second child of the family, with a younger sister named Grace Muriel Earhart. Her father was a lawyer and her mother was active in women's suffrage movements. Grown up, Earhart exhibited a strong sense of independence and a love for adventure. She had a passion for exploration and the outdoors, often spending time exploring the fields and woods near her home. In 1917, during World War I, Earhart volunteered as a nurse's aide in Toronto, Canada, where she tended to the wounded soldiers returning from Europe. This experience ignited her interest in aviation, and she began taking flying lessons in 1920. In 1921, Earhart set a new altitude record for female pilots, reaching an altitude of over 14,000 feet. This achievement marked the beginning of her remarkable career in aviation. In 1928, Earhart gained international fame as the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean as a passenger aboard the Friendship, piloted by Wilmer Schultz and Lewis Gordon. The flight made her a symbol of courage and a trailblazer for women in aviation. Following her transatlantic flight, Earhart became a prominent advocate for women in aviation and a sought after speaker. She used her fame to promote the advancement of aviation and to encourage women to pursue careers in the field. In 1932, Earhart achieved another milestone by becoming the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Her solo flight from Newfoundland to Ireland solidified her reputation as one of the world's most accomplished aviators. Throughout the 1930s, Earhart continued to set records and push boundaries for aviation. She set numerous speed and distance records, including being the first person to fly solo from Hawaii to California in 1935. In addition to her aviation achievements, Earhart was a prolific author and influential voice for women's rights. She wrote several books about her experiences in aviation and served as a role model for generations of women. Amelia Mary Earhart's legacy as a pioneer and aviator and advocate for women's rights continues to inspire people around the world. Her courage, determination, and passion for adventure remain an enduring symbol of human achievement. Amelia Earhart, a pioneering aviator, became one of the most celebrated figures in American history due to her groundbreaking accomplishments in aviation. However, due to her disappearance in 1937, remains one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century. Despite extensive search efforts, no conclusive evidence has been found to determine what happened to her and her navigator, Fred Noonan. Born on July 24, 1897 in Atchison, Kansas, Amelia Mary Earhart exhibited a strong interest in aviation from an early age. She worked odd jobs to save money for flying lessons and eventually became the 16th woman to receive a pilot's license in 1921. Earhart gained fame for her solo flights and record breaking achievements. Notable among those were her solo transatlantic flight in 1932, becoming the first woman to achieve such a feat. Her attempt to circumvent the globe in 1937 was her most ambitious undertaken yet. On July 2nd, 1937, Earhart and Noonan disappeared over the Pacific Ocean during the final leg of their journey. Despite numerous search efforts, no record or definitive evidence of their fate has ever been found. Theories about their disappearance range from crash landing at sea to being captured by the Japanese military. Fred Noonan, born on April 4, 1893 in Chicago, Illinois, was an experienced navigator and pilot. He served as a navigator for Pan Am, gaining extensive experience in transoceanic flights. Noonan's expertise in celestial navigation made him an ideal choice as Earhart's navigator for her around the world flight attempt. Alongside Earhart, Noonan embarked on their final ill fated journey on June 1, 1937. His disappearance alongside Earhart's has fueled much speculation and intrigue over the years. Despite his crucial role in aviation history, Noonan remains lesser known compared to Earhart's, largely due to the enduring fascination with Earhart's own accomplishments and the mystery surrounding her disappearance. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan continues to captivate the public's imagination, inspired countless theories, investigations, and attempts to unravel the mystery. Their legacy as pioneers in aviation endures, with Earhart especially being remembered as a symbol of courage, determination, and relentless pursuits of dreams. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart has spurred numerous theories and speculation over the years, leading to the identification of several potential suspects or explanations for what might have happened to her. Here's a brief list of some of the most notable suspects and theories. Crash and sinking at the sea. One of the most widely accepted theories is that Earhart's plane ran out of fuel and crashed into the Pacific Ocean, sinking without a trace. This theory suggests that the extensive search efforts failed to locate the wreckage due to the vastness of the oceans and the limitations of the technology at the time. Gardner Island, otherwise known as Nikumaroho. Some researchers believe that Earhart and Noonan may have crash landed on Gardner Island, now Nikumaroho, a remote coral atoll about 350 miles southwest of Howland Island. Evidence such as a radio distress call and the discovery of artifacts on the island, including a woman's shoe and aircraft parts, has fueled speculation that they survived the crash but ultimately perished on the uninhabited island. Japanese capture and theory. Another popular theory is that Earhart and Noonan were captured by the Japanese military after the crash landing on Marshall Island or elsewhere in the Pacific. Some accounts suggest that they were taken prisoner and possibly executed, while others propose that they were held as spies or prisoners of war. Saipan theory. Some believe that Earhart and Noonan crash landed on Marshall Islands and were subsequently taken to Saipan, then under Japanese control. Witnesses have claimed to have seen Earhart and Noonan in Japanese custody in Saipan, although these accounts are disputed and there is lack of concrete evidence to prove this theory. New Britain Island theory. There are theories suggesting that Earhart and Noonan may have landed or crashed on New Britain Island, part of the Papua New Guinea, and were subsequently captured or passed away there. Reports of an American woman matching Earhart's description being seen on the island have fueled speculation, but no conclusive evidence has been found to support this theory. Earhart survived and assumed a new identity. Some theories propose that Earhart survived the disappearance and assumed a new identity to escape public attention. However, there is little evidence to support this theory, and it remains largely speculative. Stormy Seas hypothesis. This theory suggests that Earhart's plane may have been caught in a severe storm over the Pacific, lead to a crash or forced landing on the open ocean. Spy mission theory. Some speculate that Earhart's flight was not merely a circumnavigation attempt, but also a covert mission to gather intelligence on Japanese military activities in the Pacific. Proponents of this theory suggest that Earhart and Noonan may have been intercepted and captured by the Japanese military while carrying out this mission. These were just a few and brief description of some of the theories and suspects proposed in the disappearance of Amelia Earhart. Despite numerous investigations and expeditions, the mystery remains unsolved, leaving ample room for speculation and debate. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart and her navigator prompted involvement from various government agencies, organizations, and individuals in the search effort and subsequent investigations. Here is a brief and comprehensive list of some of the key agents and agencies involved. The United States Navy, USN. The United States Navy played a significant role in organizing and conducting search efforts for Earhart and Fred Noonan. The USS Colorado, USS Lexington, and USS Ontario were among the naval vessels involved in the search operations. The United States Coast Guard, USCG. United States Coast Guard provided support for the search and rescue operations, particularly in the Pacific Ocean region. The USCGC Itasca was stationed near Howland Island to assist Earhart with radio navigation during her final leg of the flight. Pan American Airways. Pan American Airways, otherwise known as Pan Am, assisted with radio communications and logistics during Earhart's flight, particularly in the Pacific area. Pan Am's facilities and personnel were also involved in coordinating in these search and rescue efforts and providing support to search vessels in the area. The Bureau of Air Commerce. The Bureau of Air Commerce, a precursor to the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, was involved in coordinating search efforts and providing technical expertise. Under the direction of the then Secretary of Commerce, Daniel C. Roper, the Bureau contributed resources and personnel to assist in the search of Earhart and Noonan. The International Telecommunication Union, ITU. The International Telecommunication Union played a role in facilitating radio communications between Earhart's aircraft and ground stations during her flight. The ITU's involvement included coordinating frequencies and radio operations to aid in the search and rescue efforts as well. Civilian volunteers and organizations. Numerous civilians, volunteer, and organizations participated in the search for Earhart, contributing aircraft, ships, and expertise to the effort. Groups such as the 99s, an organization of female pilots founded by Earhart, were actively involved in raising funds and awareness for the search operations. International collaborators. Several foreign governments and organizations collaborated with the United States in the search for Earhart and Noonan, particularly in regions where they were believed to have disappeared. Countries such as Australia, New Zealand, and Japan, as well as the United Kingdom, provided assistance, resources, and cooperation in the search efforts. Independent investigators and expeditions. Over the years, numerous independent investigators, researchers, and expeditions have been conducted to search for clues and evidence related to Earhart's disappearance. Private individuals and organizations, as well as expeditions, have explored various theories and potential locations for Earhart and Noonan and where they might have potentially disappeared. These were just some of the agents and agencies involved in the search for Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan. The disappearance of these two remains one of the most enduring mysteries in aviation history, continuing to inspire research, speculation, and investigation. As of the upload of this video, there has been no resolution to this case. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart has generated numerous pieces of evidence ranging from radio transmission to physical artifacts and eyewitness accounts. Here's a brief and comprehensive list of just some of the key evidence associated with her disappearance. Radio transmissions. Radio transmissions between Earhart's aircraft and various ground stations, including the USS Itasca, provided important clues about her flight path and communication during the final leg of her journey. Last known position. The last known position of Earhart's aircraft was near Howland Islands in the Pacific Ocean, based on the radio communication and calculations made by navigators and search teams. Radio Direction Finder Barons, or RDF. The RDF Barons taken by the USS Itasca and other vessels attempting to locate Earhart's aircraft provided directional information that has been used to estimate her probable flight path. Search and rescue efforts. Extensive search and rescue efforts conducted by the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and civilian volunteers yielded valuable information about the debris fields, oil slicks, and other signs of potential crashes. Eyewitness accounts. Numerous eyewitnesses claim to have seen or heard Earhart's aircraft in flight or after a possible crash. These accounts vary widely and include reports from residents of remote islands, sailors, and military personnel. Photographic evidence. Photographs taken before, during, and after Earhart's flight have been analyzed for potential clues, including images of her aircraft, navigational equipment, and possible crash sites. Artifacts and debris. Physical artifacts and debris, such as aircraft parts, personal belongings, and a woman's shoe found on a remote island like Gardner Island, now known as Nikumaroro, and have been considered and discovered, as well as analyzed for potential links to Earhart's disappearance. Post loss radio signals. Post loss radio signals, including distress calls and alleged transmissions from Earhart's aircraft received by amateur radio operators and military personnel, have been scrutinized for authenticity and relevance to the investigation. Historical documents and records. Official correspondence, documents, logbooks, and other historical records related to Earhart's flight planning, navigation, and communications have been examined for clues and insights into her disappearance. Forensic analysis. Forensic analysis of recovered artifacts, including DNA testing and material analysis, have been conducted to determine their origin and potential connection to Earhart's aircraft. Sonar and underwater surveys. Sonar and underwater surveys of the ocean floor near suspected crash sites have been conducted to search for wreckage and debris from Earhart's aircraft. Satellite imagery. Satellite imagery and aerial reconnaissance have been used to search for possible crash sites and to analyze environmental conditions in the Pacific region relevant to Earhart's disappearance. These pieces of evidence, along with various theories and interpretations, continue to shape our understanding of Amelia Earhart's disappearance and fuel ongoing efforts to solve one of aviation's greatest mysteries.